Ever been, in a situation where someone said something in English and it just like completely went over your head?
Uh-huh.
Maybe a friend said they were feeling a bit under the weather and you're picturing them, I don't know, caught in a storm.
Yeah, exactly. Those little phrases, they're idioms and they're everywhere.
They really are. So today we're doing a deep dive, a really fascinating one, I think, into everyday English idioms.
That's right. And we've got this great resource, focuses specifically on daily use English idioms. It's designed really to help you understand them, but also, feel more comfortable actually using them.
Which is so important for you, the listener, because knowing idioms, it's not just about like learning more words. It's kind of like getting a secret decoder ring for English conversations, isn't it?
It really is. It helps you get the real meaning, not just the literal words.
And sound more natural, more confident, and get those aha moments. When a phrase finally clicks.
Those are the best. Yeah, our source gives a fantastic overview. It breaks down what idioms actually are, shows off the common ones you'll bump into daily, and even groups them. So you've got idioms for feelings, work stuff, just everyday situations. We'll even see them in a little story later.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So our mission today then is to really unpack these expressions, help you get informed fast, feel, much more comfortable with everyday English talk.
And we'll keep it clear, engaging, maybe a little witty.
Hopefully. Definitely no dry textbooks here. That's the plan. Okay, so let's kick things off. What actually is it about idioms that makes them, idiomatic?
Well, basically, they're a type of figurative language.
Right.
The whole phrase means something different from the individual words put together.
Right.
A classic example, and our resource uses this one, it's raining cats and dogs.
Always a strange one to picture.
Totally bizarre if you take it literally. But it just means, raining really, really heavily. It's like a metaphor everyone agrees on.
Got it. So the language has its own, secret code. You can't just translate word for word.
Nope. Doesn't work. It's about the shared understanding, the cultural context.
Okay. So let's dive into some common daily ones, starting with one for social situations. Break the ice.
Break the ice. Yeah, that's all about starting a conversation, usually when people don't know each other well or things feel a bit awkward.
Like at a party.
Exactly. The example is, at the party, John told a funny joke to break the ice. It's that first step, to ease the tension, get people talking.
Makes sense. That initial hurdle when meeting new people. Someone has to do something to break the ice. Okay, next up. Hit the sack. It sounds a bit aggressive.
It does sound a bit forceful, doesn't it? But luckily, it just means go to bed.
Oh.
Okay, so you might say, I'm really tired. I'm going to hit the sack. It's pretty casual. Good for the end of a long day.
I could definitely see myself using that one. After a long day of deep dives, maybe.
Exactly.
Now, what if you're not feeling your best? The resource mentions under the weather.
Oh, yeah. Under the weather. Very common way to say you're feeling a bit sick or, just not quite right. The example. I didn't go to work today. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. What's interesting is it's quite mild. You're not saying you're desperately ill, just off. It avoids being too dramatic, I think.
Got it. So much gentler than I feel awful. Sounds nicer, doesn't it?
It does.
All right, let's switch to something more positive. Piece of cake. I like cake.
Oh, well, this is a good one then. Piece of cake just means something is really easy.
Like super simple.
Yeah, the example. The exam was a piece of cake. You'd say it after you did something without much effort at all. Really emphasizes how easy it felt.
Perfect. Good for downplaying things. And the last one in this daily section, let the cat out of the bag. That paints a picture.
It really does. Let the cat out of the bag means to reveal a secret, often accidentally.
Oh, okay.
Like in the example, he let the cat out of the bag about the surprise party. The image works well. The secret is the cat hidden away and oops, it's out.
That's a great visual. So it's about revealing something meant to be kept quiet. Okay, good stuff. We get some useful everyday ones there. Shall we move on to emotions? How we feel and react?
Let's do it. First up, on cloud nine. Sounds lovely.
It does.
And it is. On cloud nine means extremely happy. Just totally elated.
Example.
She was on cloud nine after getting the job offer. It really captures that feeling of pure joy, like you're floating.
Wonderful. I need to remember that for good news. Now, the flip side. What if things aren't so great? Bent out of shape.
Bent out of shape. Yeah, this means upset or angry, often about something kind of minor, maybe. The example is, don't get bent out of shape. It was just a joke. It's often used to tell someone, calm down, maybe you're overreacting a bit.
Right, like getting worked up over nothing.
Mhm.
Now, we had let the cat out of the bag for secrets,
Yeah.
but there's also spill the beans. Are they different?
That's a good question. They both mean reveal a secret, yeah. But spill the beans, it often feels a bit more informal, maybe more urgent. Like the example, come on, spill the beans. What happened at this party? It's like you're really pushing someone playfully to tell you.
Ah.
Whereas let the cat out of the bag can sometimes feel more like an accident, something that slipped out.
I see the nuance. Interesting. Okay, what about regretting something that's already done? Cry over spilled milk.
Yes. Cry over spilled milk means being upset about something that's already happened. And crucially, you can't change it.
Like what's done is done.
Exactly. The example. There's no use crying over spilled milk. Let's move on. It's all about accepting the past and focusing on what's next. Very practical.
Good advice.
Yeah.
And the last one in this emotion group, in hot water, sounds uncomfortable.
It definitely is. And hot water means you're in trouble.
Uh-oh.
The example. He forgot their anniversary and now he's in hot water. It implies you've done something wrong and you're probably going to face some negative consequences.
Ouch. Yeah, we've all been there or known someone. Okay, emotions covered. Let's switch gears again. Work and study idioms. First, burning the midnight oil. I remember doing that.
Oh, yeah. Classic student experience, right? Burning the midnight oil means working or studying late into the night.
Like pulling an all-nighter?
Pretty much, or just working very late regularly. The example, I've been burning the midnight oil to finish my assignment. It really evokes that image of staying up late, focused on a task, probably with a deadline looming.
Definitely relatable.
Yeah.
Okay, what about starting a new job or task? Learn the ropes.
Learn the ropes. That means learning the basics, the procedures, how to do a particular job or activity.
Getting familiar with things.
Exactly. It took me a month to learn the ropes at my new job.
It highlights that initial period of figuring everything out.
Getting the hang of it. Gotcha. Next, a bit more conceptual. Think outside the box.
Think outside the box. Means thinking creatively, finding new or unconventional solutions.
Example, we need to think outside the box to solve this problem. It's about breaking away from the usual ways of thinking, looking for innovation.
Super important these days. But what if those creative plans fail? We have. Back to the drawing board. Sounds a bit disappointing.
It usually is. Back to the drawing board means you have to start over, usually because your first plan or attempt failed.
So scrap it and begin again.
Pretty much. Our plan didn't work. It's back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
It implies returning to the very beginning, the planning stage, to rethink everything.
A familiar feeling sometimes.
Yeah.
And last in this section, a tough nut to crack. Sounds challenging.
It is. A tough nut to crack refers to a difficult problem to solve or even a difficult person to deal with or understand.
So it could be a situation or a person.
Yeah, either. Example. This new client is a tough nut to crack. It just highlights the difficulty and the effort needed.
Okay, that makes sense. Wow, we've covered a lot of idioms. Seeing them in a story, though, that can really help, can't it?
Absolutely. Context is everything. Our source has this short story, The New Job, that uses several we've just talked about.
Oh, cool. Can you give us the gist and point out the idioms?
Sure. So it's about someone starting a new job, right? First day, a colleague tells a joke to break the ice.
Nice.
Makes them feel welcome. By lunchtime, they're feeling great, totally on cloud nine because everyone's friendly.
Good start.
But then later in the week, they make a mistake, find themselves in hot water with the boss.
Oh, dear.
So to catch up, they start burning the midnight oil. And they're still, learning the ropes, figuring things out.
Still new.
Yeah. And the manager actually encourages them to think outside the box to fix a specific issue.
That's brilliant. Seeing them woven together like that really shows how naturally they fit into conversation. It definitely helps make them stick.
It really does. Context makes a huge difference for memory.
Okay, great. Let's look at a few more idioms for just sort of general everyday situations. First one, cut corners.
Okay.
Sounds not good.
Usually isn't. No. Cut corners means doing something badly or cheaply, trying to save time or money, but sacrificing quality.
So taking shortcuts that maybe you shouldn't.
Exactly. The example. The company cut corners and the product quality suffered. It almost always implies a negative outcome because standards were lowered.
Right. Something to avoid doing and watch out for. Now, one about sharing an experience. In the same boat.
In the same boat. This means being in the same situation as other people, often a difficult or challenging one.
Like we're all facing this together.
Precisely. Don't worry, we're all in the same boat. It fosters a sense of solidarity, shared understanding. It can be quite comforting.
Definitely. Knowing you're not alone. Okay, next. Jump the gun. Sounds like starting too early.
That's exactly it. Jump the gun means to act too soon, maybe before you have all the information or before the right moment.
Like making an announcement too early.
Yeah, the example fits. He jumped the gun and announced the news before it was officially confirmed. It highlights the risk of acting prematurely.
Patience is key sometimes. Now, what about when someone gets something exactly right? Hit the nail on the head.
Hit the nail on the head. This means you've described something perfectly, especially the cause of a problem or the core issue. You got it exactly right.
Very precise.
Yes. You hit the nail on the head, we need more time. There's a sense of accuracy, of pinpointing the exact issue.
A satisfying feeling when you manage that. And the last one in this group, throw in the towel. Sounds like giving up.
It does mean giving up, yes. Throw in the towel means to admit defeat, to stop trying.
When you just can't go on.
Pretty much. After trying for months, he finally threw in the towel. It usually comes after a lot of effort when someone realizes they can't succeed or continue. It comes from boxing, actually.
Interesting. Okay. Now, to wrap things up, our source gives us a final list of idioms that are just really good to have in your back pocket. Let's run through these quickly, meaning check. Bite the bullet.
Face something difficult or unpleasant with courage. Stoicism.
Okay. Call it a day.
Stop working for the day. Pack it up.
Blow off steam.
Release stress or anger, often by doing something active or talking.
Cost an arm and a leg.
Super expensive. Really, really pricey.
Pull someone's leg.
Joking with someone, teasing them playfully.
Sit on the fence.
Being undecided, neutral, not choosing a side.
Keep your chin up.
Stay positive, be brave, especially when things are tough. Encouraging.
Hit the books.
Study hard, focus on studying.
Get cold feet.
Become nervous or scared just before doing something big or important, like getting married sometimes. Yes. Classic example.
And finally, go the extra mile.
Make more effort than expected, do more than required, really put in the work.
Wow, okay, that's a fantastic list.
Yeah.
It can feel like a lot to take in, though. Does the source give any, practical tips for actually remembering and using these?
Yes, absolutely. Some really good strategies. First, try to actually use them. Make your own sentences that really help cement the meaning and usage.
Makes sense. Practice.
Yeah. And grouping them by theme, like we did work, emotions that can help organize them in your head. Practicing with stories, like the new Job, gives you that all-important context. And listen carefully to native speakers. Notice when and how they use idioms. What's the situation? What's the tone?
Pay attention.
You could even try, shadowing, repeating phrases you hear. And finally, maybe keep an idiom journal. Jot down new ones you encounter.
Oh, I like that idea. A journal. Those are all really solid tips. Okay, so just to recap our deep dive.
Yeah.
We've looked at a whole range of common English idioms, haven't we?
We really have, from everyday greetings and feelings to, work situations and just general life stuff.
And for you, the listener, getting comfortable with these phrases, it really will boost your ability to understand native speakers and, importantly, to join in those natural conversations.
Absolutely. It's about getting past just the words on the surface to the intended meaning. It builds confidence, makes communication much richer.
Totally agree. So maybe a little challenge for you this week. Pick, say, 2 or 3 idioms from today that you liked or that seemed useful for you, and just consciously try to use them. Or at least listen out for them, see how they feel, how people react. You might be surprised.
That's a great way to start. And maybe think about this too. Has there been a time you heard an idiom and just felt completely lost? How would knowing the real meaning have changed things? And what other, weird seeming phrases might be out there in English or even your own language that actually tell us something interesting about the culture?
That's a great thought. Keep exploring, keep listening, keep learning. You'll keep unlocking those deeper meanings behind everyday words. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening.